Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. Hate me because I'm better than you. What's up, nerds? It's your boy, the OGGM, coming to you live. It's 8 o'clock in the morning on this 6th day of May 2024. It is 51 degrees and sunny outside here at Site B. How y'all doing on this Monday? Hopefully well, healthy, and safe. It's that time again. Time to restart our clocks and get back to where we begin every week by taking a look at all the tabletop role-playing game freebies, charity thingies, sales, and of course, bundles. As always, these are PDFs. They are not physical product unless I specifically say otherwise. So don't expect the dice to show up when you download the file. Now, because these are digital files, digital thingies, STF files, all those other words that I don't understand. You're dealing with the computers, which means you're dealing with downloading stuff, which means you have the risk of viruses and malware and phishing attempts and all those other things. And they're getting worse, ladies and gentlemen. They're getting worse. Data breaches are happening more frequently, despite the fact security is getting better. Irony? I don't know. So before you open any file that you download, please check it for viruses and stuff like that. In regards to the charities, still surprised I haven't gotten in trouble for saying this. Maybe if there's a charity you want to donate money to, skip the bundle. Just donate $10 to the charity, like Team Primetime. You know, I mean, maybe you don't need 571 assorted role-playing games, all vaguely connected to the theme Hope, but you like the charity. I don't know. That's what I do. Or you could just buy my merch, skip the middleman. But we'll get back to that at the end. Meanwhile, let's check out this week's freebies. A pretty decent list. Starting right up with a preview thingy for 13th Age 2nd Edition on drive-thru. We've got a preview, a trailer, I guess, for 13th Age 2nd Edition. Gives you a little hints of what to expect in regards to combat classes, species, races, whatever, and everything else you could expect from 13th Age 2nd Edition. A lot of great ideas in 13th Age 1st Edition that I really, really liked. I mean, the whole idea of the icons and the they weren't really gods, but, you know, the idea that these high-level characters were seen as gods, these iconic representations of ideas that were constantly reborn. I love that. I loved a lot of the world building. If I remember correctly, the system was 4th. I want to say 4th. I don't know if I'm right. I want to say 4th. And actually, a lot of people said it was better than actual 4th. But then most of the few games that, well, there were only a few. The few games that managed to make 4E retro clones were pretty much better than 4E. Not that 4E was bad. I love 4E. It was just handled poorly. That's a separate topic. Coyote and Crow's lead designer, Connor Alexander, is back with a new thing called Wolves. It's about community survival. There's a guy who really knows about community, Mr. Connor Alexander. Yeah, we're not going to touch him. We're not going to touch that one. We know that there is a lot of controversy and negativity associated with Coyote and Crow and Mr. Alexander, but whatever, you know, it's just, he's got a thing. It's out. It's free. Taskfashers Games has decided to do a little support for Tunnels and Trolls. Tunnels and Trolls. There's a word we haven't heard in a long, long time. They've just released a brand new zine for the Tunnels and Trolls called, not surprisingly, Trollzine 15, which includes a whole bunch of interviews and adventures and the usual things you expect in a zine supporting a product. It's just nice to see Tunnels and Trolls is still out there. I can't remember the last time I saw Tunnels and Trolls mentioned in a post. So congratulations for still being alive. Hey, there's a new thing for Candle Obscura. This one from Gavin Bastinez, Bastinez, called Moonlight Sonata, where you are tasked with investigating several murders in the world of Candela Obscura. I like that people are still trying. I gotta respect the gumption to try and keep supporting this system. It may go down with the ship, but it's obviously got a few people who think it has something to offer, which it did. It did have ideas to offer. It's not that that was intrinsically awful. It wasn't anything we hadn't seen before because it was a cut and paste of Blades in the Dark, which was a cut and paste of Powered by the Apocalypse. So if you're familiar with Powered by the Apocalypse and all the good things in that, you pretty much knew what to expect from Candle Obscura. So it's not like it was bad. It was just, amongst the many problems, it was the wrong genre for them to back as the first game out from Illuminated Worlds. We've got some new toys for Pathfinder 2nd Edition. This one comes to us from Ashley Hemrick. It's called Trouble in Iskes Village, Iskes Village, where you have to defend a village from giant monsters, and then they reward you, and then you try and go spend the money in town, only just to discover, hey, there's some crime going on, and there's a giant toad. We have an OSR dungeon crawl game called Profantum, Profanatum. I can say words like balderdash, but I can't say whatever that is, which is a OSR dungeon that can be run solo or standard, featuring about 12 randomized dungeons and thingies. It's a 12-room dungeon. Cthulhu in Space. That's what Joff Bridge is bringing us with Starports Helios, a adventure set in the year 2070 for Call of Cthulhu, where you're in a lonely space station when you have to deal with the ceilings of, isolation and space horror and all that other stuff. But add to that the possibility that that noise you heard was not just the spaceship making spaceship noises, but perhaps something far worse. I could see Cthulhu being in space. I mean, space is horrible. Space is scary. I mean, sure, it's beautiful and amazing and wonderful, but it's scary. It's big and empty and it wants to kill you. So adding a little Lovecraftian terror to space, why not? From Chthonic Studios, we have a Shadow Dark adventure called The Unearned Halls. See these hallways? You haven't earned them yet. Is there a angry gym teacher in this adventure that yells at kids for running in the halls? It's a dungeon. And if you want more Shadow Dark fun, Less Heretic Press has released Cranes of Chaos, another dungeon crawl where you have to fight mutated goblins. And Chthonic Studios has released another Shadow Dark adventure called The Cursed Library of Grothel, where the party explores wait for it, library filled with forbidden knowledge and things that don't want you finding out about the forbidden knowledge. Forbidden knowledge. Forbidden. Words. Bleh. Philip Reed Games is re-releasing his classic 1997 action RPG, Extreme Vengeance, along with the expansion Maximum Damage and Die Again. It's a 1990s action genre role-playing game. Kind of dated, but still apparently pretty good. Classic. Was it a classic? I don't remember ever hearing about it. Does anybody know Philip Reed Games? I don't remember, but then I'm old. I don't remember what I had for breakfast. So if anybody can tell me anything about Philip Reed Games, I'd greatly appreciate it. We got a 5e adventure on drive-through called Rivers of Poland, where you go to the dwarven city of Poland and you investigate stuff, and the river is run dry. Poland? Is it supposed to be Poland? Poland is like Polish, and Poland being a dwarven, or do you mean pollen? Because pollen doesn't sound like a name of city that dwarves would name because of, pollen, plants, elves. Meanwhile, on DM's Guild, we've got some love for Vecna, with Vecna Eve of Ruin coming out tomorrow, supposedly. We've got an adventure called Tying Vecna to Fendeldrin, which brings the prequel adventure to the prequel adventure to Fendelver. So as you remember, there was a prequel adventure that came out. If you were smart enough to pre-order Vecna online, you got a a pre-release prequel adventure called Next of the Eldereth Eye. Not Next, but Next. Next of the Eldereth Eye. Not Nest, N-E-S-T, N-E-X-T. Next of the Eldereth Eye. When you think about it, that's not a sentence that makes sense. Next of the Eldereth Eye? Next to the Eldereth Eye? Next is the Eldereth Eye? Next of. Well, I mean, next of 7, right? That works in a sentence. Next of 7, that's a thing, right? Next of. I don't know if I've ever heard that phrasing before. Was that intentional, or are they just trying to be weird? Next of 7 is like the only thing I could think of where that's used in that format. Anybody else? Well, anyways, it was a prequel. It was a very cheap way for them to make a little extra money by saying if you pre-ordered it, well, this is a prequel to the prequel. So in order to get this adventure, finally getting around to my topic, you had to first have the prequel. And it ties Fendelver, the very first D&D adventure that 5e made, to the Vecna story that's coming out supposedly tomorrow. Obviously, this guy didn't get the memo about that was the original storyline in the first place. But okay. Teen Young has released an adventure called Return to the Mountain Toe Gold Mine. Mountain's Toe Gold Mine, a Dungeons and Dragons adventure that is linked to Icespire. Return to Mountain's Toe Gold Mine. That should be a little comment or something. The name of it is Mountain's Toe, and it's a gold mine in Mountain's Toe, right? I don't know. Who am I to correct people's grammar and spelling? Have you seen mine? Lightning round. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 map type thingies on DM's Guild this week. And wow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 30. 30 brand new classes, subclasses, or backgrounds for 5e, all of which are still technically canon, official, canon, Wizards of the Coast hardback canon classes that you can play until September. 30 is the most I think I've ever done. I wonder why. Hold on. Why does my building need a street sweeper? Moving on to sales. Fantasy Grounds has a sale for both Unity Standard and Ultimate. So if you want to get Fantasy Grounds for all your online VTT, $19.50 is the one-time payment for Standard, or $50 is the one-time payment for the Gold Ultimate, whatever it's called. I've used Fantasy Grounds. I've used Roll20. Both have their advantages. Both have their disadvantages. I kind of like Fantasy Grounds a little better. We've got a Fallout role-playing game bundle still going on. This one is on Roll20, PDF, and VTT bundle. It's got a whole bunch of Fallout stuff on it. It's a Humble Bumble. It's $50. It's just the amount of love Fallout is getting. Who knew? Thank you, Amazon. If you're a fan of Savage Worlds, there's a Savage Worlds bundle on Humble Bumble. I've put a link down to this one below because I am a huge fan of Savage Worlds. It contains a whole bunch of stuff for Savage Worlds, all for $50. And then, of course, they have the Savage Worlds for Pathfinder bundle, where they took Pathfinder and converted everything in Pathfinder to Savage Worlds. It was a huge, big box set, if you remember. And this is $70. There are a few people who said that Pathfinder works better in Savage Worlds. And then we also have the Deadlands not Savage Worlds. Deadlands was before Savage Worlds, and then Savage Worlds was based upon Deadlands, but did a lot of other stuff. Deadlands being one of the original first Weird West games, another setting I absolutely love. This is $65, contains everything you need, plus the VTT files for Roll20. And we've got a Black Hand starter set over at the Storyteller's Vault for a little Vampire the Masquerade love. This is $30, and it's on Storyteller's Vault. Yeah, some Deadlands love. And now the bundles. Itch.io is running a trans rights bundle. This is $5. Gets you 500 tabletop role-playing games products, every genre you can imagine, plus a few you've never thought of, some of which may have even been written by trans. Anyways, it goes to support LGBTQT shelters and LGBTQT charities. After yesterday, yeah, I'm a huge fan of any charity that or shelter that helps my fellow LGBTQT family members. We've got a Palestine Children's Relief Bundle. Doesn't matter what your political stance is on the situation in the Middle East. We don't want to see kids getting hurt. This has got 373 items in it. It's only $8. It goes to help the Palestine Children's Relief Fund. There's also a second bundle. This one is on Tiltify. Tiltify being a new one. Last week was the first time I'd ever heard Tiltify mentioned in connection to our hobby. I think it's been around for a while, but I don't remember ever hearing them connected to role-playing. Anyways, they've got a bundle for Palestine. Same thing, $15, 200 titles, including Gutter Punk and Punktopia, the punk role-playing game. That might be my favorite new role-playing game of all time because it understands that you need to stop using the word punk. There's no such thing as gutter punk. Other than that, $15, 200 titles goes to support helping kids in the situation in the Middle East get safe. We've got a huge bundle of Pro Fantasy. These are the mega campaign cartographer company. They've got campaign cartographer, Tomb of Ultimate Mapping, Design Collection, Dosage Designer 3, City Designer 3, Factoral Terrains 3, blah. Just this is hardcore techie stuff. If you want to get really into building stuff online, it's $30. It goes to support watershed charities. This is a huge bundle of computer programs. So again, before you open this and install anything, please check them for viruses. I had somebody try and steal my identity last weekend. So it's still happening. It's still going on. And then we have the 5 bundle collection for Ars Magica. That's still up on Humble Bumble. That goes to support the Montessori school program. My second favorite, I'm a big fan of some of Montessori. I'm a big fan of Reggio. I'm a huge fan of Vygotsky play-based education. I was trained in a Reggio style. Vygotsky play-based Reggio is how I was trained, with a little bit of Montessori back when I was still pretending to be a preschool teacher. Anyways, we got a ton of bundles for everything Ars Magica. Ars Magica, of course, considered by many to be one of, if not the best magic system, one of the best campaign building, world building systems. It's legendary. Not enough people are aware of Ars Magica. The best way to explain Ars Magica is if you've ever seen the movie Dragon Slayer. That's Ars Magica. And we've got 5 bundles ranging in price from $13 to $20. We've got the Fallout Wasteland Warfare bundle from Modifius and Company. This is the wargaming rules for Fallout, not the 2D20 rules. It's everything you need to start shooting each other in the wonderful world of Fallout. If you want to do some Fallout themed, skirmish type Warhammer type stuff, but on a smaller scale. There are some official figures that have been floating around actually for a while for Fallout. You don't often see them. I don't think a lot of people are aware they're out there. And they don't really advertise them as much as they could have. And I'm not sure if the role-playing game was first or the skirmish game was first. I want to say the skirmish game was first because they were testing the waters to see if hello, Doc Flamingo, if they had a fan base before they did the role-playing game. Am I wrong? I feel like I saw the skirmish game first and then the role-playing game. Anyways, there's figures, and they just came out with some new ones. So if you're looking for to play some Fallout Wasteland Warfare's miniature skirmish games, This is a huge bundle for $18. It goes to support trees. You're a tree, have $10. I know you can't spend it because you're a tree, but still. And these are, of course, STL files as well as VTT files. So please, 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 please check these for viruses. We've got the Battletech Fiction Collection still up. This contains 70 more titles than you ever thought were made for BattleHot. It's got 71 titles total, including comic books, novels, whatever else. About 130 different things. This is $30. This is the most popular pledge. It goes to support the ACLU. These are digital books, so no, you're not getting 130 books in the mail. Sorry. These are all digital. You'll need to read them on a digital reader, like a laptop or whatever. And again, because these are digital files, please, 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 please check them for viruses and malwares and other things like that. Because again, it's still happening, guys. If you take nothing else away from me doing this every week, take this lesson that you gotta double and triple check your computer and your files and everything, because it's happening. Or, because you knew it was coming, you could ignore everything I just said for the past 20 minutes. Go to Drive-Thru RPG and pick up Fresno, Nevada, Pay What You Want, my first product on Drive-Thru. It is a source book for Wretched Vigilantes. I will be putting more Wretched Vigilantes stuff on Drive-Thru if there seems to be an audience. So please, it's Pay What You Want. Download it for free. You never have to open it. Just show me there's an interest and help Drive-Thru show people that Wretched is still out there. Just because Mikkel and Sylvia have arranged a situation where they can't publish on Drive-Thru for Wretched doesn't mean I can't, or you can't. So if you want to do stuff like that, you can. Link down below for everything I mentioned in this video, including the link to my product on Drive-Thru. Have a great day. I will talk to you all later. Until then, waffles, waffles, waffles.